On our website, you can get PDF learning materials for free. Please visit englist.me.
Argue.
To express differing opinions or points of view, often in a heated or contentious manner, to present a case or reasoning to persuade or convince others.
Examples:
Argue a case. Argue passionately. The couple began to argue over which restaurant to go to for dinner.
Religion.
A deep conviction in a supernatural power that controls human destiny.
Examples:
Religion sociology. Freedom of religion. Their religion strictly prohibits them from drinking or gambling.
Primary.
First or highest in rank, order, or importance, most fundamental or essential, pertaining to the initial or introductory stage of something, such as a school year or election cycle.
Examples:
Primary school. Primary education. The primary cause of the accident was due to the icy road conditions.
Soul.
Only one of its kind, being the only existing or available one. Noun, the undersurface of a person's foot.
Examples:
Sole arbitrator. The sole of his shoe. The sole purpose of this meeting is to discuss the new budget for the project.
Overwhelming.
Very great or intense, so powerful that you cannot fight or react against it.
Examples:
Overwhelming majority. An overwhelming victory. He has shown signs of uneasiness and overwhelming worry.
Extreme.
Very great in amount or degree.
Examples:
Extreme sports. Extreme weather events. Solar gravity creates extreme pressures and temperatures.
Inevitable.
Certain to happen and unavoidable.
Examples:
Inevitable changes of the seasons. Inevitable result. In times of recession, an increase in unemployment is inevitable.
Conceptualization.
The process of forming or developing an abstract idea or concept, often through the use of language or other symbolic representations.
Examples:
Conceptualization of a problem. The conceptualization of the sculpture. The conceptualization of the project took several weeks to complete.
Quest.
A long or challenging search for something.
Examples:
The quest for truth. On a quest for happiness. That adventurer traveled in quest of buried treasure.
Regularly.
At regular intervals or times.
Examples:
Regularly arranged. Post regularly to a blog. This site regularly shares high-quality academic materials.
Conceptual.
Related to or founded on ideas, principles.
Examples:
Conceptual art. New conceptual framework. He has absolutely no conceptual comprehension of maths.
Democracy.
A form of government in which the people have the authority to deliberate and decide legislation, or to choose governing officials to do so.
Examples:
Democracy advocate. Principles of democracy. Democracy often entails inclusive capitalism as well.
Deploy.
To move troops or weapons into a position or military action, to bring into something in an effective way.
Examples:
Deploy troops for battle. Deploy safety measures. This country deployed its weapons in the East region.
Despotism.
A system of government or rule in which a single person holds absolute authority and exercises oppressive power and control, tyrannical or oppressive rule.
Examples:
Despotism regime. Military despotism. The citizens rebelled against the oppressive despotism of the ruling regime.
Anarchy.
A state of society without government or law.
Examples:
Anarchy in the classroom. Lapse into anarchy. The concept of anarchy has been used in literature, music, and other art forms to explore ideas about power, freedom, and rebellion.
Organ.
A part of the body of an animal or plant that has a particular purpose and performs a specific job.
Examples:
Organ bleeding. Damage to internal organs. These infections have the potential to impact practically every organ system.
Radical.
Relating to the essential aspects of anything, far beyond the norm, mainly used of opinions and actions.
Examples:
A radical flaw in the plan. A radical cure. The government established by the coup was more radical than before.
Diffuse.
Spread out widely, not concentrated in one place.
Examples:
Diffuse bleeding. Diffuse cloud. Direct lighting is preferable to diffuse lighting when reading.
Fashion.
A style that is popular at a particular time or place, the state of being popular.
Examples:
Go out of fashion. New fashion trends. That style is no longer in fashion.
Principle.
A fundamental law or truth that explains or controls how something happens or works.
Examples:
Principle of treatment. Principle in business. Efficiency isn't an essential principle here, fairness is.
Concentration.
The ability to focus all your time and energy on one thing without thinking about anything else.
Examples:
concentration of armaments. His research area of concentration. This exam requires excellent concentration to pass.
Govern.
To legally control and direct a country, city, group of people, etc., and be responsible for introducing new laws, organizing and maintaining public services.
Examples:
a nation's right to govern. Govern a public enterprise. The regulations governing medical malpractice claims are rigorous.
Authorize.
To give official permission or approval for something to happen, to empower or give authority to someone or something.
Examples:
authorize payment. Authorize access. The government has authorized the use of military force in the region to keep the peace.
Virtue.
High moral standards in behavior or attitudes.
Examples:
virtue of frugality. Acquire a virtue. She had many good virtues and few faults.
Broad.
Very wide, general.
Examples:
attract broad attention. A broad mind. He accumulated wealth across a broad spectrum of assets.
Precipitate.
To cause something to happen suddenly or unexpectedly, to cause a solid substance to form from a dissolved liquid or gas by means of a chemical reaction or physical process.
Examples:
precipitate a reaction. Precipitate a global energy crisis. The sudden rainstorm will precipitate flooding in low-lying areas.
Parenthesis.
A pair of curved marks, used in writing as a way of separating and marking off a clause, phrase, or word that is not essential to the structure of the sentence, but adds additional information or clarification.
Examples:
a sentence in parenthesis. Parenthesis in literature. Make sure to include all necessary information within the parenthesis in your citation.
Potentially.
In a possible state or condition, possibly.
Examples:
potentially affected. Potentially lucrative. The organization assisted in the de-escalation of potentially violent situations.
Controversial.
Causing a lot of hot public discussion and dispute.
Examples:
controversial book. Controversial policy. The issue of the death penalty is highly controversial.
Equation.
The act of regarding as equal, mathematics, a statement that expresses the equality of two expressions, by connecting them with the equals sign.
Examples:
The equation of poverty with ignorance. A chemical equation. In this class, you will learn how to solve quadratic equations.
Bush.
A plant growing thickly with many small branches and several stiff stems coming up from the root.
Examples:
Trees and bushes. A bush of hair. I am going to trim this bush off.
Administer.
To oversee and control the operation or arrangement of something.
Examples:
Administer justice. Administer the funds. After the accident, 3 governmental bodies administer the company.
President.
The leader of a republic, for example, the U.S., the person in charge of the organization, such as a company, university, club, etc.
Examples:
President Emeritus. Vice President for Finance. The club president does not have absolute power.
Intervene.
To intentionally get involved in a situation to improve it or prevent it from getting worse.
Examples:
Intervene in a dispute. Intervene between quarreling parties. Following international law, our country does not intervene in the internal affairs of our neighbors.
Trend.
A general direction in which something is changing or developing.
Examples:
An international trend. The trend away from television. The oil price continued their downward trend.
Disengage.
To withdraw or separate oneself from a situation or relationship.
Examples:
Disengage the clutch. Disengage socially. He disengaged from the conversation and walked away.
Protocol.
A set of rules or procedures for transmitting data or conducting a process or activity, especially in computer networks or scientific experiments, the initial or original version of an agreement.
Examples:
Draft a protocol. Protocol breach. The company has a strict protocol for handling sensitive information to ensure security.
Aft.
The opposite of forward, located at or towards the rear or back of a ship, aircraft, or other vehicle.
Examples:
Aft cabin. Aft view. The aft section of the ship suffered significant damage after the collision with the reef.
Decide.
To make up someone's mind about something, to come to a conclusion or judgment after considering options.
Examples:
Decide a question. Decide on a course of action. She couldn't decide whether to order the pizza or the pasta for dinner.
Advisor.
A person who gives advice about a particular subject.
Examples:
A medical advisor. Chief advisor. After retiring, he continued to be an advisor to politicians.
Undertake.
To do or begin to do something, such as an enterprise or responsibility.
Examples:
Undertake an enterprise. Undertake routine duties. Young people in this country should undertake military duties.
Intervention.
The action or process of being done to improve or help a circumstance, often they have not been asked to do so.
Examples:
Intervention by foreign powers. Surgical intervention. This intervention does not require the patient's consent.
Smoothly.
In a way that is steady, even, or without problems, without interruption or difficulty, with ease.
Examples:
Smoothly transition. Smoothly operate. The project went smoothly and was completed ahead of schedule.
Decision.
The act or process of making up someone's mind about something, a choice or judgment reached after considering options.
Examples:
Decision authority. A selfish decision. She was struggling to make a decision between two job offers.
Acknowledge.
To accept or admit the existence, reality, or truth of something. To accept that someone or something has a particular authority or quality. To express obligation, thanks, or gratitude for someone's help, commitment, etc.
Examples:
Acknowledge the deed. Acknowledge his help. He never acknowledged his fault.
Interpret.
To explain or assign the meaning of information, actions, etc.
Examples:
Interpret a graph. Interpret the question. Different people might interpret this news differently.
Consequence.
The outcome of a particular action or event, especially relative to an individual.
Examples:
Unintended consequences. The consequence of an argument. These economic activities had disastrous environmental consequences.
Degree.
A unit of measurement for angles, temperature, or level of proficiency or achievement, a rank or level of academic or professional attainment.
Examples:
Bachelor's degree. Degree centigrade. She received her degree in psychology from the university.
Engage.
To attract and keep someone's attention and interest, to participate in or obtain services of something.
Examples:
Engage in environmental protection activities. Engage a new employee. Many multinational companies are engaged in the reconstruction of that country.
Bin.
A container, usually that has a lid and used for waste.
Examples:
A waste bin. Mail bin. You can open the overhead bin after landing.
Laden.
Heavily loaded or burdened.
Examples:
A laden ship. Water-laden soil. The traffic-laden street was gridlocked during rush hour, with cars moving at a snail's pace.
Consciously.
With awareness, in a deliberate manner.
Examples:
Consciously aware of a problem. Act consciously. He consciously criticizes her in the publicity.
Devote.
To commit or dedicate oneself or one's time, effort, or energy to a particular task or purpose.
Examples:
Devote all of my energies. Devote my own life. He devoted himself to studying the history of ancient civilizations.
Conflict.
A strong disagreement, argument, or a violent clash between two opposing groups or individuals.
Examples:
The conflict between good and evil. The long-standing conflict. He and I often had conflicts, not only in personality, but also in ideology.
Capitalism.
An economic system based on the private ownership of the means of production and their operation for profit.
Examples:
Advance capitalism. Under the umbrella of capitalism. Capitalism also guarantees intellectual property rights and thus promotes innovation.
Define.
To state or explain precisely the nature, scope, or meaning of something.
Examples:
Define a word. Define my position. To advance this discussion, we must define success rigorously.
Apparatus.
The equipment, materials, or tools that are used to perform a specific task, often in a scientific, technical, or industrial setting.
Examples:
Apparatus malfunction. Respiratory apparatus. The laboratory apparatus made it possible for the scientist to experiment.
Salvation.
Preservation or deliverance from harm, ruin, or loss.
Examples:
Salvation Army. The salvation of the individual soul. For many, the church was the only source of salvation in harsh times.
Mechanism.
A part of a machine, or a set of parts that performs a task, a natural or established process that occurs during a specific situation or reaction.
Examples:
The mechanism for DNA replication. Defense mechanism. He discovered unique mechanisms for photochemical reactions.
Construe.
To interpret or understand the meaning of something, typically in a particular way. To analyze or explain the grammar or structure of a sentence or phrase.
Examples:
construe a contract. Construe a sentence. It isn't easy to construe his intentions without knowing him better.
Universe.
Everything that exists, especially all physical matter, including planets, stars, galaxies, and all other forms of matter and energy.
Examples:
theory of the universe. Expansion of the universe. The universe is about 13.8 billion years old.
Individual.
A single person or thing, as distinct from a group.
Examples:
a private individual. Individual freedom. As an individual, he had the right to make his own decisions and live his life as he saw fit.
Disbeliever.
A person who does not believe in something, such as a religion or idea.
Examples:
persuade a disbeliever. Stubborn disbeliever. Despite the evidence, she remained a disbeliever in the theory of evolution.
Slogan.
A short, catchy phrase or motto that is used by a person, organization, or company to promote a particular product, cause, or idea.
Examples:
catchy slogan. Advertising slogan. The company spent months researching and testing different brand slogans before finally settling on "Just Do It" as their new tagline. Spiritual. Relating to or affecting the human spirit or soul as opposed to material or physical things.
Examples:
constant spiritual striving. Spiritual leader. The meditation class was focused on finding inner peace and cultivating a more spiritual connection with the universe. Sphere. A round object or geometric shape that is three-dimensional and symmetrical around a central point, a particular aspect or scope of life or activity. Examples: sphere of influence. Business sphere. The sphere of the Earth is divided into several layers, including the crust, mantle, and core. Disagree. To have or express a different opinion, idea, etc. Examples: disagree about a particular issue. Disagree with a plan. I disagree for reasons already stated above. Represent. To speak, act, or be present on behalf of another person or group, to form or constitute. Examples: represent by a diagram. The characters that represent numbers. We elected him to represent us at the international conference. Engaging. attracting, pleasant, or charming.
Examples:
Engaging story. An engaging smile. She was disbarred for her engaging in fraud.
Achieve.
To successfully complete a task or goal, often through hard work, perseverance, and dedication, to attain or accomplish something that one has set out to do.
Examples:
Achieve success. Achieve milestones. I will work hard to achieve my goals and realize my dreams.
Desirable.
Worth having or achieving, pleasing, attractive, or sought after.
Examples:
Desirable effect. Desirable result. The beachfront property had a desirable location with stunning ocean views.
Perspective.
A certain attitude towards something, a particular style of thinking about something.
Examples:
A perspective view. Perspective of the battle. His father's death changed his whole perspective on life.
Justice.
The quality of being fair and reasonable and treating people equally according to their due.
Examples:
Criminal justice. Justice of heaven. The judge's ruling was based on the principles of justice and fairness.
Equality.
The state or quality of being equal, especially in status, rights, and opportunities, fairness and impartiality.
Examples:
Equality Act. Equality in education. Everyone deserves equality regardless of their race, gender, or socioeconomic status.
Correspond.
To match or be similar to something else almost exactly, to exchange messages.
Examples:
Correspond to a standard. Correspond with a foreign student. The numbers on the sign correspond to points on the map.
Tradition.
A belief, custom, or way of doing something that has been passed down from generation to generation within a group or society.
Examples:
A tradition of a culture. Against tradition. It is a tradition in many families to have a big Thanksgiving dinner with all their relatives.
Impressive.
Arousing admiration due to size, quality, or skill.
Examples:
Impressive performances. An impressive array of facts. The budget reduction was an impressive feat for our nation.
Identify.
To recognize someone or something and say or prove who or what they are.
Examples:
Identify handwriting. Identify gene sequences. I will introduce you to how to identify the leading causes of the malfunction.
Propose.
To make a proposal, declare a plan for something.
Examples:
Propose the amendment. Propose changes. I want to propose a toast in honor of our long-standing relationship.
Phenomenon:
Something that exists and can be perceptible, especially one that is not fully understood.
Examples:
Natural phenomenon. Historical phenomenon. A rainbow is a natural phenomenon.
Demonstrate:
To display something or give an exhibition to an interested audience.
Examples:
Demonstrate a difference. Demonstrate mastery. How can you demonstrate that the Earth is a sphere?
Process:
A series of actions or operations performed to achieve a particular outcome or goal. A systematic procedure or approach used to accomplish a specific task or objective. A method of treating milk to make it suitable for consumption or use in other dairy products.
Examples:
Process improvement. Decision-making process. The process for applying for a visa can be lengthy and complicated.
Immediately:
Now or without delay.
Examples:
Immediately recall a product. Write him an answer immediately. A suspension order from the court is effective immediately.
Symbol:
Something visible that is used to represent something else.
Examples:
Symbol color. Symbol for happiness. The dragon is considered a symbol of bravery.
Capital:
A building that houses a legislative assembly, especially the U.S. Congress.
Examples:
The nation's capital. Capitol Hill hearing. The Capitol building was a stunning example of classical architecture, with its marble columns and grand dome.
Forthcoming:
Likely to happen or be available soon.
Examples:
In the forthcoming week. Forthcoming book. The forthcoming election is causing a lot of tension and uncertainty.
Mosque:
A Muslim place of worship that usually has a minaret equals slender tower with balconies.
Examples:
Domed mosque. The sacred mosque. Jumeirah Mosque is one of the most beautiful buildings in the United Arab Emirates.
Worship:
To have or show a strong feeling of profound respect and admiration for a religious entity such as God or a god.
Examples:
Worship God. Absolutely worship. They traditionally worship their guru.
Straightforward:
Easy to do or understand, or simple, free from ambiguity.
Examples:
Straightforward manner. Make a straightforward dash. The defendant gave a straightforward and accurate description of the accident.
Depict.
To illustrate someone or something in a photograph.
Examples.
Depict a scene. Depict a feeling of isolation. His son had accurately depicted the bloom.
Concept.
An idea or principle associated with something abstract.
Examples.
Learn new concepts. Concept car. One such rapidly growing concept is quantum cryptography.
Susceptible.
Easily influenced, harmed, or affected by something.
Examples.
A susceptible young woman. Susceptible of proof. Well-stretched muscles are less susceptible to injury.
Representation.
The act of speaking, acting, or being present on behalf of someone officially, a statement of facts and reasons made in appealing or protesting.
Examples.
Sales representation. Binary representation. A person who has been declared incompetent should have legal representation.
Contest.
A competition in which people compete for supremacy in a sport or other activity, a struggle between rivals.
Examples.
A speech contest. A close contest. There was a vast contest between the two tribes.
Subscribe.
To agree to receive or support something, often through payment or regular participation, to sign up for or enroll in something, such as a publication, service, or program.
Examples.
Subscribe to the service. Subscribe a petition. I want to subscribe to the newsletter to stay up to date on industry news.
Interpretation.
An explanation or opinion of something, especially that is not immediately obvious.
Examples.
The interpretation of history. Open to interpretation. His interpretations of literary works are often unique.
Dictionary.
A reference book containing an alphabetical list of words and their definitions, as well as information about their origins, usage, and pronunciation.
Examples.
Dictionary definition. Online dictionary. I need to purchase a new English dictionary.
Derive.
To obtain or receive something from a source.
Examples.
Derive a conclusion. Derive knowledge from books. These English words are derived from Latin.
Origin.
The first existence or beginning of something.
Examples.
Origin of all humankind. A manuscript of uncertain origin. There are various hypotheses concerning the origin of life.
Consensus.
General agreement or accord in the judgment or opinion reached by a group as a whole.
Examples:
A public consensus. Consensus among scientists. The two parties have reached a consensus.
Analyze.
To think about in depth and evaluate to discover essential features or meaning.
Examples:
Analyze a chemical compound. Analyze your real motives. The teacher attempted to analyze the root cause of our mistake.
Essentially.
Relating to the essential features or concepts of anything.
Examples:
Essentially correct. Become essentially same. Essentially, a society is an organism.
Amazing.
Extremely surprising, especially in a way that you like or admire.
Examples:
Amazing advances. The most amazing feeling. The golfer recorded an amazing distance.
Submission.
The act of giving a document, proposal, etc., to somebody for consideration or judgment, the act of giving in or yielding to a superior force or authority.
Examples:
Submission agreement. Submission of a final report. The submission deadline for the project is next week.
Recognition.
The action or process of recognizing or being recognized, especially by remembering, an agreement that something is true or legal.
Examples:
Recognition award. Joint recognition. He was given recognition for his outstanding work in the field of medicine.
Sovereignty.
Supremacy or authority, especially supreme authority over a country.
Examples:
Democratic sovereignty. Sovereignty issue. The country proclaimed its sovereignty over the disputed territory.
Ostensible.
Appearing or seeming to be true, genuine, or plausible, but not necessarily so, outwardly appearing or declared to be one thing while being something different or hidden.
Examples:
Ostensible reason. Ostensible explanation. The ostensible purpose of the meeting was to discuss budgeting, but the real topic was employee layoffs.
Consist.
To be composed or made up of.
Examples:
Consist mainly of cells. Consist only in knowing facts. This examination consists of 5 problems to solve.
Elect.
To choose someone for a specific position by voting for them, to decide or choose to do something.
Examples:
Elect the school board. Elect death. Every 5 years, the provincial governors are elected.
Liberal.
Willing to respect or allow many different types of beliefs or behavior, open-minded.
Examples:
A liberal arts college. Under liberal conditions. He is liberal in his thoughts.
Confrontation.
The act of facing or dealing with something directly and openly, a direct and often hostile encounter or disagreement.
Examples:
Confrontation at the national level. Confrontation with others. The confrontation between the two leaders was broadcast live on television.
Framework.
The structural components of a building or object that support its weight and give it form, the underlying structure of a system, concept, or text.
Examples:
Legal framework. The framework of a house. He devised a new analytical framework to capture the phenomenon.
Implausible.
Difficult to believe or accept as true, not credible or convincing, unlikely or improbable.
Examples:
Implausible theory. Implausible excuse. The detective found the suspect's story implausible and decided to investigate further.
Reaction.
A response that reveals a person's feelings or attitude. In chemistry, a process in which one or more substances are changed into others.
Examples:
Chemical reaction. Trigger a reaction. There was a chemical reaction of the lime with the groundwater.
Likelihood.
The probability or chance that something will happen or be the case.
Examples:
Likelihood of the success. Improve the likelihood of a cure. The likelihood of the project being completed on time is uncertain.
Nonetheless.
In spite of what has just been said or done, nevertheless.
Examples:
We are nonetheless confident. Love him nonetheless. They each choose nonetheless to battle.
Favored.
Preferred or supported over anyone or anything else.
Examples:
Favored by good weather. Favored candidates. He is favored with a privileged position because of his abilities.
Relevance.
The state or degree of being closely connected or appropriate to the matter at hand.
Examples:
Have no relevance. Relevance category. The relevance of this information to the current situation needs to be investigated.
Statistics.
The discipline that concerns the collection, organization, analysis, interpretation, and presentation of data.
Examples:
Statistics for cancer. Official statistics. The statistics demonstrate that poverty and unemployment are genuine problems.
Crazy.
Stupid or not sensible, very angry.
Examples:
Crazy about cars and racing. A crazy scheme. The rain and thunder are crazy today.
Probable.
Likely to happen or likely to be true.
Examples:
Probable outcome. Probable cause of a fire. It seems probable that he has forgotten our scheduled meeting.
Appropriate.
Suitable or proper in the circumstances, fitting.
Examples:
Appropriate behavior. An appropriate time. It would be appropriate to dress nicely for the wedding.
Hop.
To jump lightly and quickly on one foot or both feet, to move rapidly from one place to another, to travel using an aircraft, bus, etc.
Examples:
Hop on one foot. Hop from one place to another. The rabbit hopped over the fence.
Recognize.
To acknowledge or realize something or someone, to identify, remember, or become aware of something that was previously known or encountered.
Examples:
Recognize talent. Recognize achievement. It's important to recognize your strengths and weaknesses.
Manipulate.
To influence or control something or someone to your advantage, often in an unfair or dishonest way.
Examples:
Manipulate figures. Vulnerable to manipulate. Please tell me how to manipulate this computer.
Outcome.
The result or effect of an action, event, etc.
Examples:
Improved student outcomes. A desirable outcome. They awaited news of the outcome of the election.
Faith.
Complete trust in something or someone's ability or knowledge, a strong belief in religion, divine power, etc.
Examples:
Religious faith. Faith in government. He kept his robust faith in his company.
Civilization.
A complex and highly organized society that has developed over time and has a dominant culture, including features such as language, religion, government, technology, and social customs.
Examples:
Civilization decline. Lost civilization. The rise and fall of civilizations can be studied through history and archaeology.
Identity.
The fact of being who or what somebody or something is, the features, emotions, or ideas that distinguish persons from one another.
Examples:
Mistaken identity. identity as an individual. The terrorist's identity remains unknown.
Compatible.
Capable of coexisting or working together without conflict or inconsistency, harmonious or well-matched.
Examples:
Fully compatible. Compatible with HTML5. The new software is not compatible with the old operating system, causing compatibility issues and errors.
Vast.
Enormous in size, number, amount, or quantity.
Examples:
Vast majority. Vast desert. A vast audience viewed the broadcast.
Profoundly.
To a great or complete degree, deeply.
Examples:
Profoundly insightful. Sleep profoundly. The novel affected her profoundly, causing her to question her beliefs and values.
Primarily.
Mainly.
Examples:
Intended primarily for young people. Primarily affect adults. All peaceful cooperation is based primarily on mutual trust.
Economics.
The branch of social science that deals with the production, consumption, and transfer of goods and services.
Examples:
Welfare economics. Economics professor. His class will cover an introduction to agricultural economics.
Regulate.
To control something, especially by means of rules or laws.
Examples:
Regulate blood sugar levels. Regulate our conduct. We must manage to regulate our expenditure.
Autocratic.
Having absolute power and forcing people to obey completely without asking.
Examples:
In an autocratic manner. Autocratic regimes. That emperor amended the law to allow him to continue his autocratic rule even after he abdicated.
Ruling.
A decision, judgment, or decree made by a judge, court, or other authority, a set of guiding principles or regulations that dictate behavior or procedures. Adjective, dominant or authoritative in a particular situation.
Examples:
Legal ruling. Supreme Court ruling. The judge's ruling was in favor of the defendant.
Promote.
To encourage or persuade people to like, buy, use, do, or support something, to raise someone to a higher position or rank.
Examples:
Promote a better relationship. Promote bad behavior. The government should do more to promote sustainable agribusiness.
Defensible.
Able to be defended or justified, justifiable or reasonable, capable of withstanding attack or criticism.
Examples:
Defensible fort. Defensible decision. The lawyer argued that his client's actions were defensible given the circumstances.
Academic.
Associated with schools, colleges, and universities, especially studying and thinking, not with practical skills.
Examples:
Academic probation. An academic discussion. An excellent historian must possess an academic mentality.
Axis.
A real or imaginary straight line through a body or figure around which the object turns, a group of countries in special alliance.
Examples:
Vertical axis. A coordinate axis. The Earth's axis of rotation is tilted 66.5 degrees to the ecliptic plane.
Communist.
Relating to or supporting the political ideology of communism, equals a form of socialism that abolishes private ownership.
Examples:
Communist Party. Communist activist. During the Cold War, many countries feared the spread of communist ideology.
Contradict.
To deny the truth of a statement by stating the opposite, to be in conflict with.
Examples:
Contradict each other. Contradict the principle. The book contains numerous statements that contradict previous reports.
Universal.
Existing or affecting everywhere or everyone.
Examples:
Universal life. Principles of universal design. The picture earned near universal acclaim from critics.
Coexist.
To live or exist together at the same time in the same place.
Examples:
Coexist with nature. Coexist with diversity. The different species can coexist in the same ecosystem by filling different niches and using different resources.
Activism.
The policy or action of using vigorous campaigning to bring about political or social change.
Examples:
Antitrust activism. Digital activism. Internet activism has been crucial in raising awareness about critical social issues.
Practical.
Of or connected with actual use or real situation rather than with theory and ideas.
Examples:
Practical English. Gain practical experience. Her concept is highly practical and helpful.
Parliamentary.
Of or relating to a parliament, equals a legislative body, or the system of government it is a part of.
Examples:
Parliamentary government. A parliamentary body. The parliamentary system of government is used in many countries.
Government.
The group of people with authority to control a country or state.
Examples:
Government bureaucracy. Government funding. The federal government is planning to increase taxes for the next fiscal year.
Turkey.
Of an animal, a large bird with a fan-shaped tail native to North America, widely grown for food. Of a country, a Eurasian republic in Asia Minor and the Balkans.
Examples:
Swell like a turkey. Turkey breast meat. They prepared a stuffed turkey for Thanksgiving.
Pragmatic.
Practical rather than idealistic.
Examples:
Pragmatic approach. Pragmatic politics. He was a pragmatic leader who made decisions based on what was practical rather than ideal.
Ideological.
Relating to or concerned with ideas and theories rather than practical matters.
Examples:
Ideological divide. Ideological differences. The book presents an ideological perspective on the role of government in society.
Perceive.
To become aware or conscious of something through the senses.
Examples:
Perceive a threat. Perceive light. Australia is widely perceived as having low levels of corruption.
Sincere.
Of a person, feelings, or behavior, open and genuine, not deceitful.
Examples:
A sincere man. Express sincere regret. Please accept my sincere condolences on your friend's death.
Governance.
The act or process of governing or managing a political, social, or economic entity, the systems or principles that guide such processes.
Examples:
Good governance. Corporate governance. The United Nations assists countries in building strong governance frameworks and institutions.
Fundamental.
Forming an essential base or core from which everything else develops or is affected.
Examples:
Fundamental education. Fundamental rights. Human behavior has fundamental characteristics.
Incompatible.
So different as to not be able to exist or work with another thing or person.
Examples:
Incompatible personalities. Incompatible colors. It is a religion incompatible with the Western country.
Convince.
To persuade someone or make someone believe that something is true.
Examples:
Convince her to go with us. Convince an opponent. I am considering what I should do to convince him.
Core.
The most essential or fundamental part of something.
Examples:
the core of an apple. Core business activity. These gas nebulas are merely newborn galactic cores.
Liberty.
The state of being free within society from oppressive restrictions imposed by authority on one's way of life, behavior, or political views.
Examples:
Personal liberty. Liberty as a right. The founding fathers fought for the liberty of the American people.
Malleable.
Able to be easily shaped, molded, or manipulated, particularly in a physical or metaphorical sense, capable of being adapted or changed according to different circumstances or situations.
Examples:
Malleable clay. Malleable attitude. Gold is a malleable metal that can be easily shaped into different forms.
Precise.
Sharply exact or accurate or delimited.
Examples:
Precise analyses. Estimate precise costs. The content is precise and informative for me.
Argument.
A set of statements or reasons used to support or refute a proposition or theory, a verbal or physical fight or dispute.
Examples:
A blazing argument. The argument against capital punishment. The argument between the two sides over the proposed policy was heated.
Permit.
To allow for something to happen or be done. Noun, the act of giving a formal, usually written, authorization.
Examples:
Permit application. Work permit. The teacher will not permit any students to leave the classroom early.
Needless.
Describing something unnecessary, pointless, or superfluous and could be avoided without any harm or adverse consequences.
Examples:
Needless argument. Needless waste. This needless paperwork is wasting our time and resources.
Relative.
Considered and evaluated through comparison with something else.
Examples:
A remote relative. Relative factors. Most countries prohibit sexual activity between certain close relatives.
Threaten.
To utter intentions of injury or punishment against someone.
Examples:
Threaten a healthy relationship. Threaten national security. Various artificially induced causes are threatening our ecosystem.
Advocate.
A person who supports or suggests an idea, development, or way of doing something.
Examples:
An advocate of disarmament. Public education advocates. Advocates of abolishing the death penalty often argue that the alternative heaviest sentence should be life in prison.
Extraordinary.
Exceptional, unexpected, very unusual, surpassing the ordinary or usual.
Examples:
extraordinary ability, extraordinary weather. He narrated the extraordinary story of his adventure.
Fin.
A thin flat part on the body of a fish or other aquatic animal used for propulsion or balance.
Examples:
back fin, a fin of a plane. The shark's powerful fins allowed it to swim at high speeds.
Transformation.
A complete change in form, nature, or appearance of someone or something.
Examples:
the transformation of a tadpole into a frog. Cast a transformation spell. Understanding unitary transformations of a normal matrix require considerable mathematical sophistication.
Compromise.
To settle a problem or disagreement by mutual concession.
Examples:
compromise the matter. Cannot compromise anymore. They never compromised on development, despite the lack of funds.
Malleability.
The ability to be easily shaped, bent, or stretched without breaking or losing its form or integrity, flexibility or adaptability.
Examples:
physical malleability, emotional malleability. The malleability of clay allows artists to shape and mold it into various forms.
Synthetic.
Made by combining chemical substances as opposed to being naturally occurring.
Examples:
synthetic fiber, synthetic fertilizer. Synthetic diamonds play an essential role as machine tool blades.
Capability.
The ability, skill, or competence to do something, the potential or aptitude for a particular task or function.
Examples:
capability assessment, technological capability. The company's pricing strategy limits its capability to compete with other businesses in the market.
Identical.
Being the exact same one.
Examples:
pair of identical twins. An identical equation. Infant formulas are nutritionally almost identical to a mother's breast milk.
Criticism.
The act of analyzing, evaluating, or judging something, especially literary or artistic work, to find fault with it or to offer suggestions for improvement, the expression of disapproval or censure.
Examples:
criticism from the public. Harsh criticism. Constructive criticism is always helpful to help improving one's work.
Regulatory.
Having the power to control or restrict something such as business or industry according to rules or principles.
Examples:
regulatory cells. Compliance with regulatory requirements. In the past, Japanese banks were protected by regulatory control.
Context.
The circumstances, facts, or conditions that surround a particular event, situation, or statement and that give it meaning.
Examples.
Historical context. Legal context. It's important to understand the context of a situation before making a decision.
Imply.
To indicate the truth or existence of something without referring to it.
Examples.
Imply a strong correlation. Imply the presence of alien. The salespeople speak in technical terms to imply that they are more knowledgeable than the customer.
Transform.
To change an outward structure or looks.
Examples.
Transform an education system. Transform heat into power. My father's death transformed my life completely.
Convergent.
Tending to come together or meet at a point, merging or intersecting, characterized by similarities or commonalities, particularly in different fields or areas of knowledge.
Examples.
Convergent beam. Convergent thinking. The similarities between the two cultures suggest convergent evolution.
Attempt.
An act or effort of trying to do something, especially something difficult.
Examples.
The attempt to rescue the hostages. A reckless attempt. The third attempt was far more successful.
Possibility.
A chance that something may happen or be true.
Examples.
Possibility for growth. Possibility of a major earthquake. The possibility of getting the disease will drastically increase.
Clash.
A fight or argument between two groups of people, a loud noise caused by striking against something.
Examples.
A clash of viewpoints. A clash between the two task forces. Her dress was a disturbing clash of colors.
Pretension.
The act of claiming or asserting something, especially without good reason or without evidence, an unfounded or excessive claim or ambition.
Examples.
Pretension to authority. Baseless pretension. His pretensions of being a gourmet were quickly exposed when he could not identify basic herbs and spices.
Tremendous.
Very great in degree or extent or amount or impact, extremely good.
Examples.
Tremendous amount. Tremendous popularity. We had a tremendous time yesterday.
Conclude.
To come to an end or close, to reach a judgment or opinion by reasoning.
Examples.
Conclude a meeting. Conclude that he is healthy. We concluded a ceasefire.
Emulate.
To imitate someone else's achievements, to try to do something as well as somebody else.
Examples:
Emulate a successful business model. Emulate his watercolors. They intend to emulate the footsteps of successful software companies.
Sweep.
To clean something, especially a floor or an area, by using a broom, move swiftly and smoothly.
Examples:
Sweep up dead leaves. Sweep a room with a glance. The politician tried to sweep the embarrassing incident under the rug.
Tactical.
Relating to or constituting actions, plans, or strategies designed to achieve a particular purpose, especially an aggressive or political purpose, characterized by calculated planning, organization, and effectiveness.
Examples:
Tactical decision. Tactical move. The army used tactical maneuvers to gain an advantage in battle.
Impulse.
A sudden strong and unreflective wish or need to do something. The electrical discharge that travels along a nerve fiber.
Examples:
A combative impulse. Profound religious impulses. Nerve impulses cross a synapse through the action of neurotransmitters.
Generalize.
To make something, such as a theory, idea, etc., more widespread or widely applicable based on what is true in some cases.
Examples:
Generalize Kepler's first law. Generalize sophisticatedly. It's dangerous to generalize about people.
Aftermath.
The consequences or results of a significant event, particularly a disaster or conflict, a period of time following a significant event.
Examples:
Financial aftermath. The aftermath of a crisis. The aftermath of the hurricane left the city in shambles.
Underestimate.
To think or suppose that a quantity, price, or size is smaller than it is.
Examples:
Underestimate an enemy. Underestimate the probability. They frequently underestimated their abilities and felt inferior.
Skeptical.
Doubting that something is accurate or useful.
Examples:
A skeptical attitude. Skeptical scientists. His religious and philosophical beliefs were utterly skeptical.
Oppose.
To be against or in conflict with something or someone, to resist or to try to prevent something from happening.
Examples:
Oppose a decision. Publicly oppose. I strongly oppose the new proposed law that would harm our environment.
Strategy.
A detailed plan of action designed to achieve a long-term or overall goal.
Examples:
Military strategy. Develop a strategy. Our plan includes a comprehensive marketing strategy.
Moral.
Concerned with the principles of what is right and wrong, fairness, honesty, etc.
Examples:
Moral hazard. Moral burden. Ethics deals with moral conduct.
Opposed.
Being completely different from something or disagreeing strongly with something.
Examples:
Two opposed characters. Absolutely opposed to abortion. I'm strongly opposed to that plan.
Circumstance.
The specific conditions or events that surround a particular situation or occurrence.
Examples:
Circumstance of birth. Circumstance of injury. She explained the circumstances surrounding the accident.
Operate.
To work in a particular way, to supervise something.
Examples:
Operate 24 hours a day. Manually operate a machine. This machine is too difficult to operate for me.
Interact.
To communicate or react with somebody.
Examples:
Interact directly with customers. Interact with one another. He should interact more with his colleagues.
Crucial.
Extremely vital or necessary.
Examples:
Crucial information. A crucial issue for women. The revitalization of technology companies is crucial to the country's growth.
Preference.
A stronger liking or interest for something or someone than another thing or person.
Examples:
His meal preferences. A particular preference for Chinese art. Her preference is comfortable clothing over fashionable ones.
Encourage.
To give someone support, confidence, or hope, to persuade someone to do or continue to do something by making it easier for them and making them believe it is a good thing to do.
Examples:
Encourage a sense of affinity. Encourage antisocial behavior. They encouraged customers with a premium for loyal patronage.
Incur.
To suffer from something, usually something negative, such as a loss, cost, or financial burden. To become subject to something as a result of one's actions or conduct.
Examples:
Incur $50 fine for. Incur a great danger. I didn't mean to incur such a large debt on my credit card.
Obligation.
The state of being morally or legally bound to do or pay something.
Examples:
A deep obligation. Pay an obligation. You are under no obligation to finish the job.
Capable.
Having the ability, skill, or potential to do something, competent or proficient in a particular task or area of expertise.
Examples:
Capable worker. Capable leader. She is highly capable of handling multiple tasks at once.
Unwarranted.
Without justification or valid reason, not supported by evidence, logic, or authority.
Examples:
Unwarranted fear. Unwarranted assumption. The media's negative portrayal of the politician was unwarranted and biased.